Oh,
Like theoretically, it should.
I think we're live. I believe we are
Okay.
live. We'll find
Alright,
out in a
check.
second. Oh, the connection is just not good though.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to the 2S ACC Season 11 GT3. And we are here. We are back here at 2S. Now, I'm not alone today. I am joined by my wonderful co-commentator, Mr. Ollie. Ollie, how are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, not too bad now that we've got it all sorted and ready to go. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, folks, we do apologize. We have had incredible chaos with OBS. The stream key wasn't working, and nothing just wanted to work. But I do have some good news. It is working now, and hopefully we can get the hang of this. Currently 1 minute and 30 seconds left in qualifying here. As we have Illinger on provisional pole, Sam Chomley behind him, and then Olive in P3. As we actually see the track drying here. Ollie, you've had a bit of experience in ACC. Are you excited for this race?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's always nice to be able to drive ACC, but I've never actually commentated on other people drive at ACC before. I've driven Misano in a variety of different cars, including including some BTCC racing, and I mean it's just a great track. There's technical, there's fast, there's slow, there's overtaking zones like you wouldn't even believe. So I'm sure it's going to be great to see these guys thrashing it out around here as we get going.
And honestly, I cannot wait. Folks, as we said, we are still getting used to all the different tools of ACC and how everything works. So we apologize if it is a bit scrappy at the start, but hopefully it won't be like that for too long. As you said, I think we're currently watching our pole position man, Illinger, around Misano. Ollie, Misano, it's a, I wouldn't say unknown track, but when it gets kind of beaten out by Monza and Imola. It's a bit of an unknown track, I would say personally. What's your personal opinion of the track? Do you think it can make for some good racing? Dry and wet. Do we need something like the rain to kind of throw your thing on its head? What do you think?
Oh, I mean, if you want something that's more spectacular than Misano already is, then feel free to make it rain. But in the dry, Misano is one of the best tracks I think I've ever raced on. For people outside of F1, they may not know quite so much about the track, or might not even know that it actually exists, which is highly disappointing because it's an incredible track. But in these GT cars, it is an incredible track for racing. There is surprisingly little dirty air around here, which means that you can follow quite closely, even through some of the more high-speed corners, which obviously is always a massive advantage for racing as a whole, because you never want it to be boring, and having that lack of dirty air means that you get just so much more quality of racing than you do.
And well, you know what? It's as you said. I mean, because of track's characteristics, these big GT3 cars that already race so close can get even closer to each other. And I think it's going to be, as I said, I think it's going to be real fun to see that. Folks, qualifying has now ended as far as I can see. Illinger on pole, and then it's Nico Veltman right behind. Thank you, Nico, for trying to help us with all the stream issues. We really do appreciate. And then T. Aslan in P3 in the Aston Martin. Now, Folly, you haven't seen this league before, but I can tell you one thing is, it's a pretty amazing league. A lot of the drivers incredibly quick. So I think you're going to be impressed. Just two things, if I may. You just need to press escape and drive again, so our viewers can see the beautiful, beautiful grid there forming up. And if you want to switch drivers, it is Shift and the arrow keys, I believe. Folks, as I said, we're still learning, so there's a good chance we might still be giving each other tips throughout the race. But if you know something we don't, please do tell us. But honestly, I cannot wait for this race. Can you, Ollie? Oh no! So you'll be switching scenes constantly if it doesn't work. You will shift. Well, it should be shift arrow keys, but you've changed it now, so we'll have to see however you can. Oh, okay. Well, if you shift left and right, not working. Oh no! Oh no! The comment. No, it's logically left and right. Look at that, folks. Us commentators learning something new every day. But yeah, no, folks, once again, we do heavily apologize for the stream being a bit scuffed. We just had some major technical issues, and we're still getting used to ACC again after commentating other games for such a long time. But, Ollie, we have 1 minute till the race starts, a 1 hour race around this beautiful circuit. If you don't mind, I will take the lead away for us, and you can fill me out on everything I missed, because I do always miss something. And I think you'll hopefully be able to fill me out on what exactly I've missed. Okay, folks, we now have just over 30 seconds, 35 seconds on the clock. Don't worry, we'll get that UI sorted in a second. Thank you, Ollie. And just less than 30 seconds. Ollie, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, 2S round 1 of season 11 of our GT3 Cup, I would say, is about to get underway. As always, we have a rolling start, and it is Illinger on pole alongside is Nico Feldman. I absolutely cannot wait for this, and let's see what these skill drivers can do, or is there chaos in the first round of 2S's new series. Here we go, folks. Their engines are revving, and they are going. As you see, it is a rolling start, so all of them will form up behind Illinger. I think it is a full formation lap, isn't it, Ollie? Well, I'll tell you, Ollie. I was just about to actually say that, but you've read my mind, as you always do. Folks, the race rules for today, 60-minute duration, as you can see on the clock up above. 1 mandatory pit stop. Refueling is mandatory, so drivers can either do a splash and dash, maybe fill half race, we will have to see. Refill time fixed, it is now 25 seconds, and a tire change, Ollie, is not mandatory at all. As we almost head on to the final back straight here, Ollie, give us your thoughts about the race and what are you expecting? And here we go indeed. Thank you, Ollie, for summing it up beautifully. Folks, strategy is going to be a factor, but how big will it be? We're going to go racing around one of the most legendary tracks for sim racers alike. It's not well known, but we wish it was more known. Illinger starting off pole. When will he go? When can he go? When is he allowed? Let's wait for that green flag as they cross it now. And it is green, green, green racing. Nico Feldman already getting swallowed up by the Audi of Sam Chomley. And that is, I think, Azzelin making a move down the inside. He's trying a bit of contact there behind. Looks like Chaos at the back. Chaos at the back there. Looks like Jack Mills going off there. But a clean start at the front, Ollie. Look at Nico. It is extremely nuts. It is absolutely amazing, folks. The racing we're seeing out ahead. As you can see now in P2 is Azzelin, because Nico Feldman got overtaken, but Nico is trying to fight back. Ollie, if you can switch over to that battle. And I mean, absolutely amazing racing at the start there. He's trying. Oh, he's there. Oh, contact. And that is big contact, but Azzelin's still in it. But Sam Chomley, sorry, now passed him as well. Azzelin not going to be very happy about that. I'll tell you that much, Ollie. He's. And, well, you make a very good point. We will have to wait and see how long that will last. Because, you know, on a track like this, it's genuinely one of those things, isn't it? Where either he can hold the lead for the entire race, or maybe he doesn't. It all genuinely depends. You know, Illinger, we know how good of a driver he is. But we also know someone like Nico is nothing to scoff at either. But, I mean, that pink Audi looking pretty peaceful at this point, not doing too much. Any battles further down the field, do you think, Ollie, that we can see? Oh, you know what? P7. If you have a look at P7... Contact. Oh, look at the Audi. Look at the Audi getting loose up. Sorry, I apologize, Ollie. Look at the Audi I think that was Oliver Stricker, getting all loose and losing 3 positions. I apologize, Ollie, once again. But I mean, that shows, you know, just how serious it is when it comes to racing. You know, these drivers, they race extremely well, but, you know, something like that, going off the grass, it will lose you positions just because of how close they are. And I mean, Ollie, I think it's one of those things of Misano kind of lends itself to being easy to run off. It has such flowing corners that, if you think, if you're thinking you're going the right speed, but you may be going a bit fast, it does spit you out onto gravel, onto grass, and that is instantly lethal. So it kind of, I think it lends itself for drivers to make mistakes, and that's why I think it's even harder for them to, to be driving so well around here. As I'm talking about driving around in P7 and P8, that battle, Ollie, still going on. You wouldn't believe it, but Prito and Diakowski still on each other's tails through every corner. The helicam shows it a bit better, but honestly, it's crazy. They are within 1-2 tenths constantly over each other, and it is quite impressive racing. Yeah, I mean, you saw as we said, Misano making for some great opportunities. Honestly, constantly. It's I think it lends itself to late breakers as well, Ollie. But it's one of those things of, I think it's all about just how brave you are. And these drivers, some of them are extremely brave at that. Illinger, folks, out in front, still leading with 3.6 seconds now. He is stretching his legs, and I'll tell you what, Ollie. He is having the time of his life up front. No one's challenging him. He has free air. I think this is what every racer wants, isn't it? No battles, just a clean, simple race. And I mean, absolutely beautiful from him. I think something like clear, even though we talked, that the circuit doesn't have a lot of dirty air, I think still driving in that clean air, it gives you the confidence to extend over the curb. It gives you the confidence to, be able to brake later, just because you don't have to worry about someone in front of you. So I think it's one of those things of a beautiful job from him so far, and we'll see what he can do. But the BMW, no, it does take some serious skill, to be fair. We can see, I think it's P16 and 17, also having a decently tight battle at the back of the field. It is at the back, but I mean, this is it P16 and 17? I want to say it is, but I'm not quite sure. 17 and 18, yes, it is. Oh, and an Audi P18, Jay Hudson, now being left behind by the Audi of M. Betch as Betch gets past. And what a beautiful dive that was. I apologize, stream, that you couldn't see it. But I mean, yeah, these two, it shows, Ollie, even the slower cars on the grid being able to battle. Pretty crucial, isn't it? Exactly, it only takes a few people to make a mistake, or you to, get some good mid-pace race or whatnot, and being able to overtake. Maybe qualifying is your strong suit, but the race is, so many things can happen. And as I'm saying that, Collie is chasing P. Gajda, I think. Really chasing him down here with that McLaren. The McLaren looks like a very strong car around here, Ollie. But I say that the Aston not too bad itself currently. If you look at the leaderboards, what are you thinking of these two cars in this battle? Ollie, I do apologize for interrupting you. I have a feeling the stream cannot hear you at all. We have just got the message. We have just got a message in Discord saying we can't hear Ollie. So either it's myself, or it's you. If it was you, I apologize.
Okay, can they hear me now? I've turned back on my mic too. I'll hope that works.
Is OBS picking up your mic?
Yes, OBS is picking up my microphone. Yeah.
Yes, they can hear us now.
Wonderful.
Lightning,
it was my
I think
mic
that's
too.
Lightning Mr. DT. I think it's Lightning Mr. DT. Thank you so much for telling us. Folks, we apologize for all of our technical errors. Ollie has been talking this whole time, giving us some of the best commentary, and you have not been able to hear it. Don't worry, Ollie. We have
battles.
47.
I've been
47 minutes left of the race.
In the commentary box. Oh well. Oh, drive-through penalty! Drive-through penalty! Jay Preto, the BMW 33, currently in P7. Drive-through penalty, only 3 laps to take that penalty, of course. Is he going to take it this lap? It looks like he is. Yes, he is. He serves that drive-through straight away. Obviously, not allowed to work on the car during this period, so he can't serve his mandatory pit stop either, which is just going to hurt. The number 21 picking up a drive-through as well, currently in P15, the Porsche of Jay Newton. That's going to hurt his race as well, I would expect. And, oh, Gajda and Collie have now caught up to the back of Diakowski. The number 60 Aston Martin, they've both caught up to him, and it looks like there may be an opportunity for some relatively interesting 3-wide action coming up before too much longer. We will wait and see.
And I mean, to be as we said, look at Collie going for a move on Gajda. I believe is Collie going to be able to make it work? He's trying around the outside, and I don't think it's going to work.
No, not this lap. The McLaren has run deep a couple of times through there, so I expect he will have got a little bit nervous going to the outside, as he's made a mistake there already a couple of times so far this race, and he doesn't want to have a repeat. I think he's got the better exit out of the corner. Is he going to be able to hunt down the Aston Martin coming into Sector 3? Doesn't look like it. Are we going to see a move into the hairpin? I think we are. Collie going up the inside.
What a dive!
The McLaren
is he going to make
making the move. It has worked. He's ahead of the 924 Aston Martin of P. Gajda, and that's not the first time he's made that move. It's not even the second time he's made that move. That is the 3rd time he's made that move at that corner. Clearly a favourite overtaking spot for the McLaren driver.
And I mean, Jay Collie's pace currently, he's already he was 3 tenths faster that lap than Diakowski.
Oh, contact! Oh, there's contact! Diakowski goes! Contact with Collie and Diakowski.
Collie just getting a bit too riled up. not being able to brake earlier, and yeah, unfortunately, contacted Diakowski.
Who
Very
is
unfortunate.
down into 12th by the looks of things. Diakowski down into 12th. He'll have some pretty intense tyre pressures though, because those tyres will be quite warm after having a spin like that. That's promoted Bailey in the 22 BMW up into P7. He was having a nice little race. He was in 9th when the incident happened, but due to other people having to check up, he's managed to slide his way through on the inside of turn 2 and find his way past Zanoni and Gajda to come out ahead. So that's worked out nicely for him, not so much for some of the other drivers involved in that incident.
And Ollie, I do just have two things. You actually, not speaking, has brought around one good thing. Lightning Mr. DT said he literally just joined the Discord server to tell us that it isn't working. But look at this, the Aston Martin making the pass. Bailey getting passed. I think I apologize, that wasn't on stream. But Bailey just getting passed by Gadja already. Gadja already. Oh, and there goes the Audi!
Oh, there goes the Audi. There's contact. The Audi spins. Oh, he keeps it out of the wall. How's he done that?
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I don't know how he did it, but that was beautiful. Bailey not having the best of races. It went from good to not so good for him. But yeah, how the Audi kept that on the wall, I do not know. But as I was saying, Ollie, we got someone to join the Discord. So folks, if you haven't already, come join the 2S Discord, even if it is just to tell us that something is wrong with our stream. We would appreciate that very much. But Ollie, beautiful racing so far. And yeah, honestly, how that Audi kept that car out of the wall, I will never be able to tell you. I mean, he was looking like he was dead set for a spin, and then somehow he just didn't.
Well, yeah, I mean, at one point the car was pointing directly at the pit wall, and then he just didn't hit it. It must have been just full brakes and pray that the car's going to stop, and clearly it worked. But yeah, I expect Zanoni's going to be needing a new race suit at the pit stop, because that will have given him a bit of a fright.
Well, I don't know if they can change race suits that quickly, so you might just need a bit of air freshener. But no, it would have definitely
air freshener and a towel will do the job.
Of a fright. But let's have a look. So behind Bailey, I think in career, but nothing too much happening at this moment. Ollie, the race has kind of settled down a bit, as we do see in GT3 races a lot. The race settles down before it gets a bit more action again. Illinger still our leader now by 6.7 seconds. Nico just not being able to be on the pace today. We do have a fight in P3 and 4. Azalin and Sam still fighting. If we can have a look at that, they're still fighting, going head to head, seeing who can do the best. But I'm telling you, Ollie, this Aston does look menacing on this track. The Audi, of course, the top 4 cars, I think 3 of them are using it, but the Aston looks very, very good for this track.
Yeah, the Aston is holding itself up well. I think the front engine design is really aiding it, getting the front turned into these corners, which is really important. Around Misano, there are so many long corners and corners that tighten on exit. That being able to get the car turned in at the front is really important. And obviously, the Aston Martin has as much front turning as you could possibly want. At least at the start, it understeers when you get on the power, but getting it turned in it is easy with that front engine design. And I think that'll be helping.
You say that, Ollie, and I totally agree with you. But I mean, just look where the Audi is actually losing time to the Aston. The Aston is actually quicker down the straight, and Audi is gaining time. Gaining time in the corners. So now the question is, could it just be a matter of setup? That even if that Aston's front end is good, the Audi just has a bit better turn in, but he sacrificed the straight line speed. Do you think it's something like that, or do you think it's just the nature of the cars?
I mean, absolutely, it could be a setup difference, but at the same time, with them being different manufacturers, there's no way to know if it's a difference in setup that is because it's what they want to get out of the car, or if it's a difference in setup because of the car that they are driving. Obviously, setups generally it's you know, you do A to get B result, but when you're driving in different cars, that can change. Generally not a lot, but it can. So I think it's probably more to do with the actual characteristics of the car's handling rather than anything else. And I'll tell you what, Azalin is having a wonderful lap right now. He is getting away from Sam. The gap has gone from 0.3 on the line to 0.9 coming into the final sector. Looks like Azalin has had enough of sitting down and letting the race happen around him. It looks like he wants to get involved now, and I think he might be going on the chase for Nico Waldman in P2. We will wait and see.
And I mean, the chase there is possible. It's a 3-second gap. If Azalin can, even if it's just chipping away a few tenths,
he was a second faster that lap.
Oh
Azalin,
wow! Okay,
Azalin a second faster than Nico Waldman, so he's doing a bit more than chiseling away. He's throwing some dynamite into that hole. I'll tell you right now.
What has Azalin done? A second in a lap? What is he doing? That
a second
the
in a
rest
lap.
of us don't know.
I'm guessing maybe Nico just had a slightly poorer lap compared to those from before. He's again Nico 0.2 down so far this lap, whereas Azalin is breaking even. So I don't know. Maybe Waldman is just taken the life out of his tyres. Maybe there's some damage there that he's picked up at some point. But yeah, it definitely doesn't look like it's coming together for Nico Waldman right now. He's not quite where he wants to be, especially not compared to Azalin, who is definitely running faster at the moment.
But I mean, I guess we will see. Maybe this is Azalin pushing, and Sam just.
Here comes the lap traffic. Here comes lap traffic. I think he's going to stay out of the way. We'll wait and see. P Woodside just ahead of Azalin. He got out of the way for Nico Waldman, whether it was by choice or by mistake, I'm not sure. But yes, Woodside taking the creative interpretation of track limits through there. He is being blue flagged.
I mean, they did say...
There we go.
They did say he has to get past, and all credit to him. He is definitely letting everyone pass. Back markers, I don't think letting someone pass has to be that extreme, but still, it's always good to see some sportsmanship and see people not really fight it, not really fight the getting overtaken.
Yeah, absolutely. Generally, it is better to kind of just let it happen, accept that it's going to happen.
So for interest's sake, Ollie, it rained in qualifying. It hasn't rained in the race yet. Currently, the forecast isn't saying it's going to rain, but there is still a small chance that in the last 10 minutes it might rain. We'll have to see once it updates.
Wouldn't that just put the cat amongst the pigeons? Final 10 minutes there's rain. That would be insane.
It would definitely be.
I think everyone would hate it. But I think
it would be fun for us to watch.
Well, and it could lead to some massive changes in the order, because all it takes is for one car who's currently, in P18 or whatever, to get the pit lap correct, to get it bang on. And if everyone else goes a lap later, and they've had to do half a lap on relatively worn slicks on a wet track, then suddenly that guy in P18 is going to find himself gaining rather a few positions, which is always exciting to see. So we'll wait and see how it goes. I think there is definitely a possibility that we could see a little bit more movement than some were maybe expecting, especially if that rain is in the latter half.
Well, I mean, as I said, it's not a definite. All I'm saying is, looking at the weather forecast, it is a possibility. So we'll have to see whether that does happen. Ollie, if you want to take this battle between Kruger and Bailey for me, just here for a second, I'm going to be right back. Just going to close a few windows, but I'm sure you'll have enough to talk about between these two by reckoning how close they are at this moment.
Yeah, Bailey getting very, very close through there, coming out of the first couple of corners. It is getting very, very tasty between this Audi and BMW. They've got to watch out though, because if they start going side by side, they're going to lose time, and that's just going to invite Zanoni and Stricker, the two Audis behind. That's just going to invite them into the battle as well. So they are going to have to watch it a little bit, where they choose to go side by side, or if they go side by side at all, because it will just open the door for the trailing Audis in 10th and 11th to come along and have a little bit of a peek, see if there's anything going. Here we go, coming through the final sector. It looks like the BMW is going to be too far behind, although Kruger hasn't had a great run. Bailey gets a drive through. Bailey, the P922 BMW, has picked up a drive through. He's going to have to serve that within the next 3 laps. Does he serve it this lap? Yes, he does. He comes straight into the pit lane, and that saves Nico Kruger. I don't know if Nico's his name. That saves Kruger. We'll just leave it at that. For now, so he gets to continue with Zanoni behind, although running slower at the moment. And I think we've got some drivers coming into the pit lane now. I think we just had Stricker, the P11 Audi, go into the pit lane. Not for drive-through reasons. It was, I believe, his actual pit stop.
It is Oliver Stricker's actual pit stop. He's currently in P17, right behind Chimodley. I saw Bailey got a drive-through. How was I gone for 2 seconds and I missed the drive?
It was through one of the flat right-handers. Well, almost flat right-handers at the end of the lap. And it is quite easy to run just a little bit wide, and if you don't get off throttle enough, the game will penalise you quite happily.
Well, you know who isn't looking for penalties. If we look a bit down in the field, Ollie, P12, 13, and 14, none of them will be wishing for penalties, because I'll tell you what, this battle that they currently have on their hands is something else. I apologize, it's going to take you a while to get there, isn't it?
No,
but I promise once you get there, it is worth it. It is worth it. That yellow Aston. Oh, actually, is he going to be overtaken by the McLaren?
Loads of them. Oh, were some of them lap cars as well? Yes, one of the lap cars is getting out of the way. Wonderful. Okay, good news. He's getting out of the way. He's lost a position to... No, he hasn't lost the position because he blocked him. Oh, I'm trying to keep up with all of this, but I don't really know what's going on.
You should have a look at P40.
Did Bailey just get overtaken by a lapped car? I don't know what's happening anymore. I
don't think so.
Yeah, no, the 666 McLaren went back ahead of him for a bit and then went behind again. So that was interesting.
You know, I've seen worse, but you know, stuff it does get interesting. But just very quickly, if we look at P14, M. Rajnoa, I believe, 3 times faster than Hudson in front of him last lap. So definitely catching, but behind
Bailey
him is
close into
Bailey.
The braking zone there. Yeah, Bailey getting very close into the braking zone.
Bailey might be looking for a move here. Let's see, is he close enough? I don't think so, but we know Bailey, he is a very, very brave man. I don't think he's not going to be close enough, but he is slowly getting closer. Oh, he's going to go for it! Down the inside! He's going to make
contact.
Contact again!
I think he left the car's width. I think it was the Aston Martin actually closed the gap on the inside. Obviously, I won't comment anymore. I'm sure it'll be taken to the stewards, so I won't comment anymore. But yeah, definitely an interesting collision to have, especially at this stage of the race.
Yeah, Bailey not doing the best of collisions today. Collisions and track penalties, not really having good day. As I say that, he almost bumps that Ferrari, getting very close to the rear end. But I mean, I do have to say, Bailey, you know, his pace has been immense. But unfortunately, you know, he's had a couple of incidents, and it's just kind of hampered him. Ollie, you know, not really what he wants. But now the question is, will he go get past the Ferrari? And the Ferrari wants to pit, and he let Bailey pass. I thought there was going to be an accident there.
Yeah, Ferrari wanted to box, and Bailey went to the inside, which is just the last thing you want to see. In all fairness, it could have been avoided if the Ferrari had gone to the inside slightly earlier on. But obviously, you know, bygones are bygones. You look back with 2020 vision. Hindsight's a great thing. But you know, I'm sure that'll be a lesson learned for Hudson the next time. If the pit entry is on the opposite side to the corner you've just gone through, maybe take a tighter line and make it obvious that's where you're trying to go. Otherwise, stuff like that starts happening.
But I mean, Ollie, let's be honest,
Ooh.
these are racers. They don't want to lose a position willingly. Oh, as McLaren goes off in the background. That looked quite nasty, actually.
Yeah, it was contact. Mills and Woodside racing for P21, having quite a little bit of contact going through there. So Nico Veldman has made his stop. He's come out in P13. He's ended up behind Bailey, but obviously Bailey didn't actually do his pit stop. He only did his drive-through. So that's why he's ended up behind Bailey again. We'll have a look and see. I don't think anyone else from the top end has made their pit stop. That's a lie. Kruger and Colley both coming into the pit lane. I think everyone else in the top few has stayed out. Yes, they have, as Azalin and Illinger are still out on track. Illinger now with a almost a 14-second gap. I mean, he is rather walking away with this one might suggest.
But I mean, Ollie, the thing is, these are crucial times for Nico, because you would think that if Nico had any damage and he could get it repaired, and if he has new tires, he could be setting some blistering laps. If both of those things are true, he does still actually have a chance in this race once Illinger pits. We'll have to wait and see what Nico can do. It all just depends, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And a pit stop around here does lose you quite a significant amount of time. Because obviously you're looking at a fixed 25-second stop no matter what for the fueling.
Fuel.
So you're in the pits for 25 seconds no matter what happens. And the pit lane is relatively long and relatively slow. So you do lose rather a large amount of time going through the pit lane on this track. So it does play a little bit into strategy in terms of, do you want to come out, do you want to box, earlier than you need to but not come out in traffic, or do you run the tank until it's almost empty, box and accept that you're going to come out in the middle of some traffic? I take option number one personally. I'd rather come out in some clean air, but obviously that's down to everyone's personal choices.
And I mean, I guess we'll see what they do decide on the end of the day. I'm watching Nico Feldman at this point. He's in P10 already, Ollie. So some really good progression from him already in the top 10. So no matter what happens.
Oh, and Newton, the number 21 car, has picked up a 30-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane. He, I believe he was in about 20 he's in 19th even. So that's... It's gonna hurt his race, but yeah, being in 19th, I think there's only now 22 cars on track, having lost one or two. I think we started with 23, so we've definitely lost one car at least. So yeah, it won't affect his race too much.
And I mean, it's always unfortunate to see the stop and go through like that. But as I said, he's at the back of the field, so maybe anything can still happen. But luckily, it's not like he's losing a massive amount of points. We'll have to see what he can get up to. For interest's sake, Ollie, if you look at Moulton in the other Audi that Nico is currently chasing down.
Yeah.
You will see that the gap between them is 4.7 seconds.
Yes.
And rapidly closing, which means that
Moulton
Nico
comes into the
actually
pit lane.
has... and Moulton comes into the pit lane. Nico has such good pace that he was able to catch up with the guy that was already P6 after he had boxed. And Moulton will now come out quite far behind. Now let's see. Illinger is in the pits. And he has come out in front of Nico.
He stays ahead of Nico, and I must say, by quite a way. Illinger already
time is coming down.
Already on the run to the straight. It looks like it's going to be about 10 seconds. So the gap has been closed, by Nico Veltman boxing that little bit earlier. It's gained him, by the looks of it, about 4 seconds at the moment. And I wouldn't be surprised if drivers are opting to take new tyres here, rather than staying on their old ones. It wouldn't surprise me if drivers are opting to take new tyres, which is why we're seeing such incredible pace from the drivers, because they know that they can push and take the tyres, and it doesn't cost them any extra time outside of the 25-second refuel.
Exactly, and having that mentality and being able to just fully push, I think, does really help them. So the drivers will be very glad. Illinger and Nico, there is still a race there. If we see Illinger make a mistake, possibly get a penalty, anything can still happen. So I wouldn't say we should write Nico out of this one completely yet, Ollie, because anything can still happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you're currently looking at P2, aren't you? Just he hasn't boxed yet. And he needs to get past some lap traffic. What do you think he's thinking, Ollie? Why is Gadget not boxed this late into the race?
I think he's possibly just trying to go. The Audi almost outbrakes itself and takes the Aston Martin out. That would have been painful to see. I think it's possibly down. If you feel that you've still got the pace in your tyres and you've still got fuel in the tank, then why stop? If you feel like your race pace is good, you're hitting your marks, everything's going well, then maybe he doesn't want to stop because he doesn't want to fall out of that kind of window of focus, which is very sensible. It's something that I've done before. I'm supposed to stop at this point to get new tyres, but actually, even though they're worn, I'm still able to get similar performance out of them. Although it doesn't look like Gadget is. Maybe he'll box this lap now. He is a second slower. That would suggest to me he might be coming into the pit lane, and no, he doesn't. He just keeps going. Okay, cool. So he just didn't listen to me. Right, so Aslin has now come into the pit lane. This is where it's going to be interesting. Aslin was P2. So we're going to watch where he comes out in relation to Illinger. I think he might end up coming out closer than the gap was when he went in. We'll wait and see. Is that him moving in the pit lane?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I don't know what the gap's going to be. We'll wait and see as Illinger comes through the first two corners. I think Aslin's actually further back than I thought. Is Nico Veltman going to get him on the exit here?
I think Nico Veltman might.
I think Nico Veltman will, and I think he might have to watch out. I think Sam Cholmondeley isn't going to be too far behind either. You might have to watch out here. Is Sam going to have the run on him? It depends.
No, I don't think so. Sam is quite far behind. I think Aslan has just squeezed him out, Ollie. But I mean, interesting. We were talking. I thought Aslan was going to be in front of Nico. Honestly, I thought Aslan had the pace to be in front of Nico.
I thought, Aslan was in front of. Oh no, Aslan was P3 to begin with. Sorry, because it was Aston Audi, wasn't it? Yes, I got myself confused. I thought he was P2 to start with, at which point Nico Veltman has made some serious time. But no. He's come out, and I think the gap to Cholmondeley has shrunk a little bit. From what I remember, it was about 3 seconds before he came into the pit, so the gap is about halved. But Cholmondeley is catching, and whether that's just because Aslin's tyres aren't quite back up to temperature and back up to pressure yet, we'll wait and see. Has the leader decided to come in yet? And the answer on that front is going to be no.
No, he is still out in front, leading, taking his time, genuinely not deciding to pit. It's a very interesting strategy. I'll give you that much.
He's losing.
I guess we'll see. Could it?
He's losing a lot of time, I can tell you that right now. His last lap was a 35.6. Everyone else in the top 5 running in the 34s, if not the 33s for D. Illinger. So Gadget's losing a lot of time staying out on track. I'm not sure if that's something that he was expecting, and he's hoping that he'll be able to box in his pace on fresher rubber. We'll be able to bring him back into it. We'll wait and see, but at the moment I don't see that strategy working for him.
I mean, Yeah, it's, you know what? Let's not judge. Maybe there's something that we aren't seeing. Unfortunately, no race. All I know, sorry, not no race. No rain later in the race, so that's a bit disappointing.
Highly disappointing.
You know what, Ollie? We'll have to see. Anything. I'm a believer in. There's there's theory behind the madness. So I guess we'll have to see. Maybe there is some theory, and we're just not quite seeing it just yet. Collie and Luz. I don't think we've talked about Luz. Lewis? I'm not quite sure how you say that.
I don't think we've talked about Luz at all.
We haven't. That's what I'm saying. I don't think we've talked about him at all. And he's had a decent race as well. Yeah. He's in P6. He's finished his pit stop.
He's had a quietly good race. I must have skipped over him a million times, jumping between the midfield and the top 5. But yeah, the BMW 87 is kind of just, hitting his marks, getting on with it. Nothing dramatic, no massive slides, no offs, no crazy overtakes. Just doing what he needs to do, and it's working. It is quite clearly working.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, whatever he's doing, well done to him. To be fair, you get drivers that you don't talk about a lot. You get them, and I think he's just one. He just kind of said, "I'll just go for it," Leave me alone, I'll do it. And I'm not gonna have commentators talk about me at all. Yeah. Colido Ollie. Colido Ollie. Wow, that's my hell of a sentence. Collie having a decent race. I think he's enjoying himself as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's hard not to when you drive that McLaren. It's one of the more lively cars in this GT3 field. And as much as driving it, you definitely have to have your wits about you when you're driving it. But it doesn't mean it's not fun. It's an enjoyable car to drive, and it definitely has the most. I don't know how to say it. It's definitely got some unique characteristics in its handling and driving style that you have to get used to. But yeah, it's definitely a car that can feel very fun and is very fun to drive. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Collie is enjoying this race.
And I mean, I guess we'll have to see. We can always ask him in the post-race. Or actually, we might not actually have a post-race, unfortunately. Folks, the stream might end either a bit early or just on time when the race ends. It's just a bit of time constraints. But shouldn't be anything too serious, to be fair. Let's have a look, Ollie, though. I think we should have a look. Let's have a look further down the field. We've had a lot of pit stops. Let's see. There has to be some action somewhere, right? I mean,
I'm trying to work out where the action might be. But yes, I'm looking. Hold on, let me.
And once again, our Aston Martin friend in P1, P. still not pitting.
Just not pitted. Here we go. There's some action here.
Does he know he has
on track? Stricker goes ahead of M. Betched in the other Audi, the 49 and the 47, having a good little battle here. Is Betch going to come back at him into the final couple of corners? No, he's not, but I tell you who's being invited onto the back of this. It's our friend Bailey, who we know has the pace. He was fighting in just below the mid half of the top 10 earlier on, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's looking to make a move and get past these guys, as indeed he's getting on that straight away. Betch and Bailey running, oh god, in the same place. Oh, and there's contact! Oh, it's gone wrong.
Contact, I was just about to say, sorry, Ollie, you cut out there for a second, but contact between the two and it went wrong. Betch in front, though, but Bailey not going to be very happy about that. Bailey having a bit of an accident-prone race today. Oh, is he going to go get past? Oh,
heavy moving in the braking zone there from Betch. That was questionable. He was.
Well, I mean, it is questionable, but I'll tell you what, he's going to go for an overtake that's a bit more clean now. I think he's going to try it around the outside.
Does he tuck back under? Yes, he does. He's going to switch back. Oh, and Bailey's gone. Betch even just went far too deep. There was nothing he could do to hold on to it. He got in too deep on the brakes on the inside, and Bailey just went, oh well, I'll just take the inside line then. Thanks a lot. Yeah, just tucked back under. A perfectly executed switchback. You love to see it. You love to see it.
I mean, that was amazing. It was.
It was
you know, you see some drives.
That's what it was. It
exactly.
was textbook.
Like, you read the racing textbook and it says, "Oh, you can do a switchback," and everyone's like, "Oh, you know, okay, fine, switchback." You don't get a lot of things where it's like that's a definitive switchback. That I think is the definition. If you go, folks, if you go look up switchback on Google right now, I am pretty sure you're going to see.
You get a YouTube. You get a
that.
YouTube link, and it's to that. It's that timestamp in this stream.
That was it. That was it. Honestly, Ollie, I've never seen something that good. And I mean, it shows. You know, Bailey, he hasn't had the cleanest of races, with all respect to him, but he has been giving us some very fun racing. As I say that, he's already closing up on to Moulton, and I have a feeling.
Oh,
getting close on braking. I have a feeling we might see a move soon.
Yeah, I have a funny feeling that Bailey might be finding his way into P13. He goes to the inside this time. He's got the run. Oh, he's definitely got the run. Wow, the straight line speed. Where did that come from? The BMW storming past the Audi, takes the inside line through there. Neat as you like, keeps it on the track. Move done. Bosh. Bailey focusing on Stricker up the road now.
I think that's turn 6 or 7, but I mean, Bailey loving his overtakes into there, really having some fun with it. So well done, yeah, very well done to Bailey. Being very entertaining, honestly. I don't think anyone can say this race is boring, because Bailey has definitely made it entertaining this whole time, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as much as obviously he wouldn't have liked to have the penalties that he's had, and the 924 gets a drive-through for track limits, and he hasn't boxed yet. Oh, what a massive, massive mistake for Gajda. That's the last thing he needed. He's still got to pit, so he comes into the pits now to do his drive-through, and that's going to shuffle him so far down the order. Just so far down the order, as Dillinger is about to take P1. Gajda gonna lose a lot of time with the drive-through and the pit stop to make as well.
And I mean, very unfortunate for him. You know, it was. I think his strategy, you know, just left him out a bit too late. That drive-through, for all we know, I mean, personally, you know, it has to be for track limits. So maybe his tires just gave up, and that was what made him do that mistake. So yeah, very unfortunate for Gajda. He tried something different, and unfortunately it didn't work, Ollie. But let's have a look. I think you're currently on number 9 at Yowski, I want to say.
Yeah, the number 60 Aston Martin.
Kruger.
Yeah, chasing down Kruger again. The gap was bigger. Diakowski had fallen back. It was a 3 or 4 seconds with about 20 minutes to go. So over the past 8 minutes, he's made up some ground. He's made up a lot of ground that lap. 1.3 seconds on that particular lap. That was a very, very nice lap from Diakowski, looking to get past for P8 on the Audi driven by Kruger.
And I'll tell you what, you know, Diakowski and the Audi, you can actually, Ollie, if you can, have a look at the helicopter view.
I don't know which button does that.
I think it's F3.
Oh yeah, I've got it. Oh my god!
Musical. Folks, it's a musical. 2S the musical. No, but you should have a look, and you can see the different lines the Audi and the Aston are taking, and it is genuinely astonishing, you know, to see how they're gaining and losing time. And I've been looking at it for about a solid 2 minutes at least here, and it is very interesting to see how the cars approach corners and track exits differently. And I think it shows that there isn't one way to drive a track. I think it all depends on your setup, on your car, and I think on the driver as well. There isn't just one set way to drive a track. I think it's a very personal thing, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of it is down to the car characteristics. There are some cars where you really need to open up the corners as much as possible. You really need to make it. And there's some cars that are really pointy. You turn in early, you kind of straight line the apex and then turn again afterwards to get it onto the exit. And I think the difference in lines really shows that. Obviously, some of it is down to the driving style as well. There are some drivers who prefer to have smoother lines. There are some drivers who prefer to have those kind of boxy, pointy, angular lines through the corners. So yeah, it's always really interesting to see, especially when drivers' lap times are really, really close. It's always interesting to watch the laps back, because it looks like they're taking completely different lines, but they managed to get to the finish line within the same tenth, even though they've driven the track in two completely different ways. So yeah, it's always fascinating to see that kind of difference in the driving styles playing out.
And I mean, it goes to show just the sheer skill, I think, of these drivers again. It's how can I say it? I wouldn't say the skill is unmatched, but you get what I'm saying. It's these drivers, they put so much time
hold on, we've got
this.
battle. Azalin and Valdman, P2 and 3 on track, separated by 0.2 of a second. I'm happy I managed to see this. I saw it just up the road from Cholmondeley and thought I might hop up and have a look. Here we go, Azalin in the Aston Martin. He's looking to the outside. Oh, he switched it back to the inside, goes way off the track. Is he going to make the move up the inside, Azalin? No, he's going to stay behind for now. I think he knew that the track limits might come back to bite him if he continued with that move, so he backed out of that one. Nico Valdman staying ahead for now. Oh, and I'll tell you,
I really thought he was going to make the move. I honestly thought Azalin had the line through there. That is very, very interesting. Unlucky that Azalin couldn't do it, but I think that isn't the last we're going to see of Azalin, Ollie. I think we are going to see a lot more from him.
I think this battle might just last for the whole final 8 minutes of this race, These guys really going at it tooth and nail. They know that there's no chance of catching Illinger unless he has a rather significant issue. So I think for now it is just try and secure one of the podium positions. The smaller the number, the better, is the mindset for these guys at the moment, and I'm sure that's what they're going to be trying to do.
And I mean, I guess we'll see. But as you said, Ollie, I want to get back to the main point. 8 minutes left. That's all there is of this race. First of all, Ollie, I want to say thank you to you for joining me for this. It has flown by. And folks, to everyone who has been watching, it's been a very fun race. It's not done yet. Well, it might be done for the leader. I think Illinger, at this point we can almost crown him the winner. But I mean, this battle, Ollie, Azalin and Feldman, I want to see where it goes. But I also want to see what Bailey is up to. I'm going to go look at what Bailey's up to, and I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, let me know if there's anything interesting going on. I'll come and have a look. And I think it's important to... Hello, go on.
No, sorry, I was about to say, in short, nothing important just yet. Bailey is being chased by Oliver Stricker, and he's chasing down Gacha for P11. So Bailey currently in P12. Nothing just as interesting just of yet. I'm sure he'll give us some action soon, but I'll keep you updated. You wanted to say something?
As the 666 car gets a drive-through, I believe that is the McLaren who's currently in P20 or P21, so that won't have affected his race too badly. But yeah, with now less than 7 minutes to go, it'll be interesting to see how many laps we have left, because obviously if you get to the line with time on the clock, less time than is necessary to complete a lap, but more time than 0, we go for a whole another lap. So it'll be interesting to see how that's going to work as the 49 car gets a drive-through. Is he racing particularly for an important position at the moment? I don't believe so. The 49 car's Oliver Stricker. The 49 car's Stricker.
Oh my soul!
He's gone off behind Bailey. That gap has dropped down to, has gained even to now 1.4 seconds, 1.5. And Stricker with a drive-through, that is going to hurt his race a lot. He's going to come down well down the order now. And Nico Valdman, and it would have been quicker to just go up rather than down. Nico Valdman and Azalin are just down the road from these guys, 14 seconds behind. I doubt they'll make up that gap to Bailey by the end of this race, but we'll wait and see.
Well, anything can still happen at the end of the day. But yeah, Oliver Stricker, he had a decent race, but that drive-through I think is really going to punish him. It's. I'll tell you what. I think.
Oh, Asselin goes for it. Asselin makes the move. Asselin goes for it. There's contact. Asselin has a massive moment on the inside. He keeps control of the car. He gets going again. Oh, but that is going to. I think. I mean, he's only half a second behind. There's only 5/10 in it. We'll wait and see what happens here. I think it was a bit of an ambitious move from Asselin. He wasn't alongside at the start of the braking zone. But again, I'll stop commenting on that. I'm not an FIA. I'm not the FIA in this server, and I need to remember that. I've never done anything in this server before. I literally joined it at 5 PM, 2 hours before the race started. So you know, I'll just keep my mouth shut for now.
It wasn't 5 PM. It was 6 PM. It was an hour before the race started.
Yes, it was.
No, sorry, yeah. Ollie. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you so much for catching that. There's a bit of a delay, so you know I don't always see these things. But yeah, Asselin, very ambitious move. Will he try something like it again? He had a look, but decides not to. As you said, 4.5 minutes remaining. Asselin's going to start getting desperate because he wants to get past Nico for the points. You know, starting off your championship is strong. They both know that Illinger is out of this game. They're not going to catch him. So this is it. This is where the move is going to happen. And I'm honestly very interested to see where Asselin picks his next hunting ground.
Is it going to be the same place again? I think he might wait for these two right-handers, and I think he might go for it again into the hairpin, which is what he's done before. He'll lift off here, get the better run through here, and then he'll go for it at the hairpin, which is exactly what he did last time. He's gone to the outside this time. Hello, that would have been an incredible move if he'd managed to carry it off. Yeah, but that move around the outside there, never particularly going to come off. I can guarantee you that, for one. So, with just over 3.5 minutes to go, I just want to see where our leader is on track. So he's just coming through sector 1. So I think we're going to get another 3 laps here. I think we're going to get another 3 laps. Yeah.
We might still get another 3
If Illinger keeps this pace up, I think we will have 3 laps. He's already 40 seconds into this lap. It's 1:34 he's running at the moment. So yeah, it will be 3 more laps at this rate. Let's hop back to this battle as Asselin is 2/10 behind. I think he's had the better run out of the twisty part of sector 1. It's a single tenth. He fakes to the inside, goes back to the outside. Is he going to try and get the switchback run? Oh, he does get the run. He's got a very nice run. Is he going to try and take the inside? Veltman defends. He knows what he's doing. Asselin, oh, I don't think that move's going to be going. He goes slightly deeper.
The problem,
looking for the exit.
Ollie, the problem.
Oh,
look at that! Wait, look at that! Nico goes wide.
Nico goes wide. He blocks to the inside, which is exactly what he needs to do. Asselin tries to go to the outside. They're side by side. Oh my days! This is about to get feisty.
Asselin might actually get this.
Oh my days!
Can Asselin get this done? Late braking from
They're still side by side. Oh, how close can you get? Must have been a little bit of contact there. Around the outside, he's holding it there this time, the Aston Martin. Asselin's still there, still there, still there. He's not. Contact again. Yeah, I think Asselin was all the way alongside there, and I just don't think he was given much room by Nico Veltman. I'm not sure what the stewards will think on that front, but yeah, I think that was a little bit questionable from the Audi man that time.
But I mean, to be fair, they both had their questionable moments. But I mean, Ollie, just look at how absolutely intense it is. You know, these drivers on each other. The problem with Asselin, you know, as of yet is, unless Nico makes a mistake, like we saw last lap, Asselin struggles to be on the inside and be alongside at the same point, which isn't ideal for him. Although he's
got the run again. He's got the run again.
Will he try? No, he doesn't.
No, he's too far behind.
Honestly, I do think if he tries something into that corner, it'll be brave, but I think he'll be able to make it work, Ollie. I think he should at least try it on the last lap.
Yeah, we're going to have 1 lap left. These guys are going to have 1 lap left when they cross the line. And I think it looks like Asselin will have got the better exit out of there, but this time it's 4/10 rather than 2. He's going to be a little bit too far back this time, I would suggest, unless he can get some sort of crazy run through this upcoming corner. Doesn't look like it. Leader is on the final lap. Illinger has run away with this one. I don't want to move away from this battle because I feel like I'm going to miss something really important.
You don't have to. You don't have to. Don't worry. I'll keep a wild eye on Illinger. But yeah, no. I mean, as you said it, this battle between these two is absolutely amazing. But honestly, Ollie, you can take us through the final lap, and I'll take us when Illinger crosses the line. But I mean, these two, they're so closely matched. I don't know if Aslan can do it.
Yeah. Turn 1 and turn 2, Aslan was a tenth faster that lap, which is barely enough to make an overtake. It's 3 tenths at the moment as they come into turn 4 and turn 5, the double right, then into the left of 6. Now coming down the back straight, third gear on exit, using up all the exit curbing. Aslan has got the run. Oh, Veldman throws a big block to the inside. Aslan is going to be on the outside. Is he going to try and force him deep? No, he hangs it around the outside. Beautiful work from Aslan there. I don't think he's going to be alongside for the room. He is. Veldman gives him the room. Veldman gives him the room. Aslan going to go in deep here. Oh, the switchback.
Nico get the switchback?
The switchback
Nico
from
gets
Veldman.
the switchback.
Oh, there must have been a millimetre between the cars there. That was impressive. And was that a windscreen wiper going from Aslan there? I think it might have been.
Well, you know what, Ollie, it doesn't matter because
hold on.
as you say that, our leader, the man who's led from start to finish, the Illinger, taking the race win, and it looks like behind him, Nico Veldman and Aslan gonna stay like they have been this whole race.
Absolutely.
Well done to the top 3. Illinger, Veldman, Aslan not being able to get it done.
No, Aslan not quite. The final lap, the move almost worked for him, but he just went a little bit too deep. If he'd been on the brakes half a millisecond earlier, there wouldn't have been enough room for Veldman to get the switchback. But as it was, he just carried a little bit too much speed going up the hill there. And that's ended up meaning that he finishes P3 instead of P2. And I'll tell you what, for the man that we haven't said much about all race, B. Luz in that number 87 BMW comes home in a very strong P5. A quiet race from him. I'm not even sure where he qualified. I didn't even get to look at that. But yeah, he's just hit his marks. You know, hit his marks. He's done what he needed to do, and it's worked for him. Come home P5, and now with traction control off, having a little bit of a drift session in that BMW 87, which I can't blame him for at all.
I think it's a very good drift car as well. But seriously, I mean, to our drivers, what a race, Ollie. What an absolute mad race. Illinger, as you said, dominated the race, led from start to finish. Nico really doing well to keep that P2, and unfortunately, Aslan just not being able to get past
yeah,
today.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the race here in Misano for 2S. It was a great opening to the season. I don't know if I'll be back. If I am, I'll see you then. If I'm
Hopefully
not, thanks a lot for having me. So I will see you when I see you, ladies and gentlemen, and anyone else who is here. Thanks a lot for coming along tonight. I'm sure next week will be just as great, even if I'm not here. So thanks a lot. I will see you all another time.